All right, so where we left off last week was we now have the third person start map where our game starts. We now have a start menu, right? Quit, which is really cool over Unity, actually makes it quit, which is great. We've got our play button, which takes us to the first level. Once again, we do shoot and attack with the left mouse. We've got our maze that we can pull out the brick for and run through that. I still haven't set everything back so I can cheat. Eventually, this section of the wall is going to slide in, revealing our pathway now into the house. And then everybody should have the part for last week was creating your own house interior, 2 floors of first floor or ground floor and second floor. So as you can see, mine looks exactly like it did before. So hopefully y'all spent time getting that going. I will check that out next week. We also have our pause menu. So we've got the ability to pause, restart the levels, or quit, or just continue. And that is where we're going to take off from here. Oh my Lord, what happened here? That was fun. All right, so I'm going to have a start on the third person map, which looks exactly like the start map, at least on mine. And so what we're going to do is, like I mentioned, we're going to start with setting up. My goal had been to do a full UI system, but realized as I started working on just health, there was a lot more that goes into setting up the UI than just like, yeah, we'll just magically add a health bar. It's fine. So we're going to just stick with health and for the main part of today. So to make it easy, I'm going to add into our blueprints folder that we've got. I'm going to actually add a folder in here so we can right click, new folder, and we'll just call it health. So that way we can put all of our health stuff into that one spot. We can enter the health folder. And then we're going to start by creating another blueprint because we've made plenty of these. So right click, blueprint class, going to be actor. And we'll name it BP health component. And like always, we'll just double click to open, get into that blueprints. And then I'm just going to dock mine so I still have access to the third person map. Up to you how you want to do it. We're going to start this. The health component is going to basically be our health tracker. This is what we're going to use to track everything's health, right? This will track the player's health. This is going to end up tracking the health of our exploding barrel. That's going to take a little bit of damage for it to go off. This will end up tracking our enemy's health, everything through there. So this kind of makes it nice and easy to be able to reuse this, which is nice. So to do it, we're going to start by adding 2 variables. So down here on the right, we've got our variables. Click to add. The first one will just be health. And we want to switch the type from Boolean to float. Once we enter a variable, we do have the abilities to set the default variable, but you can't set that until you've actually compiled the code for the first time, and now you have the ability to go in and change that. So if there's something you want to change, make sure you're hitting the compile in between. Our second variable is going to be still of a float. We'll call it max health, right? Because we want to know the current health of the player, but we also want to know where they're starting. So we'll have max health also be a float. We'll compile this one because health, we're okay with health being whatever, but max health, we're going to set our player's max health here in the default value to 100. It could be 250, it could be 4, whatever it is that makes sense for your game. But in this case, we'll just do 100, and then we'll just ramp our damage to make a match with that. All right, so now we want to make sure that at the start of play, we're actually setting that health to what our max health is, right? So health is going to want to be what max health is when we start. We don't want to start at 0 hit points where health is currently listed at. So what we'll do with that is we're going to switch over to the event graph. And we're going to, we can keep these for the moment. We're going to drag over our health. And we're going to select the set health version of it. We can actually bring this up to the top because we're actually make use of the begin play. I'm going to clear these other two just for space. We can add them if we need to. So begin play is when the play begins. Whoa. Amazing, right? Crazy stuff. So we go ahead and attach our set health to run on the execute of begin play. And then we're going to go ahead and we can shortcut this if you want. Drag max health in. I'm using control so I can just get the immediate get version of max health. And we're just going to attach max health to the set of health. So what we're doing, like I said, the moment we begin play, we're setting our player's health to what the maximum health is. All right. And then we're going to want to update health when the player takes damage, right? So health is going to change every time the player takes some form of damage, whether that's from an attack, fall damage, an AoE attack, a shot, exploding barrel, whatever it is, right? So we're going to want this to update anytime. So we're going to right click on our event graph and we're going to type in get owner. We want the actor version. And then from the return value of get owner, we're going to search on take any damage, which gives us 4 versions. We want the bind event of it. So that's going to give us attaching it directly to the target, which is great. We can now connect the bind event to the execute of our set. And then, as you see, it's requiring an event to trigger this. So what we're going to do is drag off of the event. We're going to type in custom event. So we're going to add a custom event, and we're going to name it on damage taken. So from this, we have a whole bunch of fun things that we can do with that damage. All right. And so from the on damage taken event, so drag off the event one and then do custom event, add custom, and then rename the add custom to on damage taken. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to drag off of the damage parameter here. And we're just going to type minus and choose the subtract operator. And then we want to, this got me for a while yesterday as I was working on it. So what we wanted to do, it's an order of operations, right? So if you hover over the minus, what it's saying is subtraction. It's subtracting A from B specifically. And so our A if you hover over that input pin, right, the one it's connected to, that shows A, and then the one with the number here is B. So when we're doing subtraction in this case, the way that it drug it to it is we're going to subtract the damage, or we're going to have the damage as having something subtracted from it. So normally what we're going to want to do is subtract the damage from the health. So if we plugged health into our B value, we're going to subtract the health, which is 100, from the damage, which let's say it's 10. So now we're at negative 90. You're going to die instantly no matter what. So we actually want to go ahead and break this connection between damage and our minus. You can just hold the Alt key and click on the connection, and we're going to actually want to connect damage to the second one. We want to connect it to B. And then what we're doing is we'll get a reference to our health. So that's grabbing now what is our current health and attaching it to A. So this way the calculation is done right. If you take 10 points of damage, now you're at 90 rather than negative 90. All right. I will say my character dying plenty of times yesterday, and I'm like, this is not possible. Became clear how possible it was. Order of operations. All right. And so now what we'll do is from, where are we at? So from the out on our subtract, we're going to do a clamp. And then we can do float. We want the clamp float. Basically with this, we want to set what our health maximum and minimums are, right? We're stating with this, and we're going to put this in a minute, you can never have less than 0 health, and you can never have more than your maximum health, right? So what we'll do from here, we're just going to leave minimum at 0, right? That's what we need. And then what we'll do is we're going to set this. We'll get a reference for max health and plug that into our maximum. So with this, we're making it 100% clear that our player, no matter what happens in our subtraction, our player will only have a health between 0 and 100. All right, and then what we want to do is take the return value here and assign it to our set health. So what we'll do is get our health, we'll get the set version of it, and plug the return value into our health. And then we'll just connect our on damage taken event to our set. All this magic happens in between. Which gets us there. All right. So now what we want to be doing is we want to set up an event dispatcher, right? We want to have something that's going to be like, I took some damage. Y'all should know about it. I did my part. I said that we took damage. Now, everybody who's listening to that dispatcher is going to be like, oh, shit, we took damage. We should do something, right? So what we're going to do that, we are going to go ahead and on health change, where are we at? Oh, that's right. It's down here. Our event dispatcher is over here on underneath our variables. So we're going to go ahead and add the one. We'll call this first one on health change. And so we'll compile it real quick. And then in the details of on health changed event, we can come into the details and we can add an input to it. Oh, which currently says new parameter. We're going to actually name it new health. It is not going to be a Boolean. It is going to be a float. Because that's how I've been handling our health so far, as floats. And we can compile and save. All right. And then we're going to drag on health change. And we're going to select the call version of this. So we have call on health change. And we're going to bring this over after where we set our new health value, right? So we've got we took some damage, we've changed our health, and now we're going to call this dispatcher and say like, hey, I have a new health value. Y'all should do something, right? And so we'll connect that to our set, and we're going to connect health to new health. Carry that along. So now it's when it's sending out the, hey, took damage, you should know about it. Now here, I'm giving you your final information. Here's the new health value that you have. Now you might want to do something with it. All right, we're going to add one more dispatcher. So we'll click and add another event dispatcher. We're going to call this one on health depleted. So if your health goes to 0, now something else is going to happen, right? That can be your end game. That can just be a player death, whatever. But something's going to be different than just taking a little bit of health damage.
Are we going to be making our branch?
We have not made a branch yet, but we're getting close to a branch, I promise you. Because we are going to get there. We're going to drag, once again, another call on the on health depleted. We'll give our space for the branch that is coming up. And so we want to obviously have this only happen when our health is 0, right? And so that's where we're going to need the branch. So we'll drag off of the health change. You can push the B button while it's there. Thank you again, sir. To get our immediate branch. And so what we're going to want to do is we want to execute this obviously only when health is less than or equal to 0. So we're going to get let's see. Got that one. We want to get a reference to our health. And we want to drag off of health. We're going to type in less, which gives us less or equal, right? So if it's exactly 0, we want that. If it happens to be less than 0, we want to run this as well. Although because of our clamp, we should never get to less than 0.
Otherwise, I think that might cause an overflow, or underflow.
Right, we got some problems if that's the case, but we're putting it in there just in case. And so we're going to leave this as 0, right? That's what we want to do it. And then we'll attach our Boolean to the condition of the branch. So if health is less than or equal to 0, now we've got our branch, which is true, false. And so then we can connect our call on health depleted to the true. We didn't do anything to that one. We did to the health. Did you make the health change one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, on health depleted, we didn't add any variables or anything to it. So it is just that. All right, we can now compile and save. We have now set up with this our health component, right? We can now use this on anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our third person map. We're going to scroll down to our third person blueprints and open up our BP third person character. This is where we have our left mouse button to shoot. And we have everything with going to our menus and switching levels and everything here, right? So we'll add this wherever you want there. I'm going to add mine to the top. We are going to, in our components here, we're going to click the add, and we're going to search health. Wrong spot. Where are we at here? Hold on. Oh, this should be pulling up our blueprint. Might let me. The health component is everything here is instant editable.
You set the health component as a component type because it's just actor right now. Usually if you set it to like the component actor type, then you can actually put it. It's easier. I mean, you can put it on the.
Yeah, hold on.
The
Make sure. That was an actor. Oh wait, did I set the? Let's figure this out. Oh shit. Yep. Okay. See how we figure out how to move this. We wanted to actually do the actor component, not an actor. Let's see here. Can we change this easily? Convert. Object reference. I don't think we can, but it should be pretty quick and easy. Do you, where'd you find class settings? Oh, there it is. Let's see, component. Actor component. No, it is not wanting together.
I think what we should do is like,
We're gonna.
is it possible to copy it?
That's what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go back real quick into our health blueprint class. Paste read my notes all the way through. Actor component. We'll do this BP health component 1, I guess, for the moment. We'll double click and open that up. We'll take off our tick. We will add our variables real quick. So we've got the health variable.
Found something.
Did you?
I don't know how it's going to work, but there is a child actor component that we can add to a different component where you can just set that actor's class to the health component.
Interesting. We'll just stick with this one at the moment. But good find. And then max health is our other one. We can compile max health to 100. We'll just real quick add our event dispatchers. Hopefully this will go nice. We're going to do our on health change. Oops. On health change. This is the one we're going to add our input to. Change it to new health. Float. On health depleted.
I don't know how I did that. It's just
All right, now what my hope is that we can just
great question.
select everything in the original BP health component, Control C to copy. You can actually delete the begin play because we're going to put that in too. Control V to paste. And compile save. It looks like everything is happy at the moment. We're going to trust that everything's happy. I'm not going to guarantee everything's happy. All right, so what we can do actually at this point to avoid confusion, we'll go ahead and close the original BP health component and delete that. Yes, go away. It's fine. And then for my own notes, you can choose either way. I'm going to rename this and take the one off of it just to have it in there. Okay, so now, if everything worked as should have, if we come back now into the BP third person character, now when we hit add, we should be able to type in health. And there it is. Now we have the BP health component. Yay. All right. So that adds it to our components for this. So now anything that we want to be tracking health, we can just add this component to it. And what we're going to do, let's see. With BP health component selected here in our components, we want to come over to details. And then we're going to scroll down. And we'll see that the two events that we created are here in our events that are optional, available for that, which makes it really nice and easy. Right? We now don't have to go like, oh, now we have to add other things to get there. Just bam, simple. All right, so we are going to add both of them to our event graph. So on health damage, apparently it wanted it to go down there. It's fine. Click on the BP health component again and add our on health depleted. I'm going to go ahead and just move these and give them a little space between them. All right. So at this point, we're going to pause the, yes. Yep. Yep. So on your components on the add, if you just start typing health, you should now have that BP health component, which is going to add it in, and then clicking on it in your components to add, to select it. Over here in the details, if you scroll down, you've got your events. And there we have the top two are the ones that we just created. Yep. All right, so we are going to take a small moment from dealing with the health to now dealing with what happens when you die. So when your character decides to kick the bucket, you stand in the fire too long, you make the barrel explode when you're standing too close, whatever it is. we are going to play with our actual functions. We're going to add a new function here just above our variables. We're going to call that function die, because why not? Right? This is what happens when we die. When your player dies, we want them to stop taking damage, right? There's no need to add insult to injury. This is not a kick me when I'm down type of game. And so what we're going to do is we're going to right click our event graph. We're going to type can be damaged, and we're going to get the set version of that. And then we can connect that to our die function. It is currently false, so yeah, no, you cannot take damage anymore. And then we could, if we left it as it currently is, when you die, you're just going to be all, you're not even going to T-pose. Like, you're just going to stand there. You're like, yeah, I died. This is neat. So we're in ragdoll. So let's go ahead and create another function. We're just going to call this function ragdoll, because that's cool. Why not? All right. And so then dragging off of our ragdoll here, we're going to type in set collision profile, which pulls up a few. We want the profile name mesh, which now gives us already the mesh target, which is great. We want to, in the in collision profile name, we want to, instead of none, we just want to set this to ragdoll as well. All right, and then we're going to drag off from the set collision, and we're going to do set simulate physics, but we want the mesh version, because we're playing with meshes. Why not? And then we want simulate to be set to true. So go ahead and check the simulate. And then, where are we dragging this in? We're going to drag off from here. We're going to disable movement, character movement. And then we're going to drag off. Let's see. Drag off. We want attach component to component, and we're going to select the camera boom one. As our parent, we can just drag from a previous one. We want to drag mesh to our parent. So we'll just, make it messy as, it works. And then we want to, the socket name is set to none currently. We want to change that to lowercase pelvis. Pelvis. All right. And then we're going to right click on our canvas again. We want to, in this one, unclick the context sensitive. And we want to add to this do collision test. We want the set version. we're going to attach the camera boom from the previous one to our target on this set. We'll attach from attach component to component to our sets. And we're going to leave this false. Let's go ahead and compile. We'll save for a minute. We'll come back to our die function. Die functions. And then we will drag onto here our ragdoll function. And then attach it to our set. All right. Compile and save. So now when the player takes too much damage, you just crumple up like a rag doll in the corner. I don't know. Best analogy, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's go back to our event graph for our third-person character. And what we'll want to do on our on health depleted, we're just going to, we can drag our, actually we don't want rag, don't want our die function. Drag that off of here and attach die to our on health depleted. So now when we die, we die. I don't know. It's not, I mean, amazing. It's weird. I don't know. It's like an off button or something. All players will die when killed. It's great. So then, while we're in the process of doing our health bar, right, that's still a bit down the road. We need to be able to do a little bit more damage and things. To make it easy, we're going to just drag off the on health change. And we're going to do a print string. So type in print string. Drop open your menu. And then we're going to drag off the new health parameter that's attached to the on health change event and attach it to our string. So now this is going to print whenever our health changes, it's going to print what our new health is on the screen. Let's go ahead and I'm going to change the text color to green. Why not? That sounds like a healthy color. I don't know how green was our health.
It'll definitely not blend into the background.
Right. It's fine. Everything's fine. And then we'll change the duration to I'll change it to 4. That way it stays on the screen a little bit more. This was a cool one that I just found out about. The key here, if we set the key to health, what this will do, because we now have a key, it's only going to replace that version on the screen as a print string. So if you take damage, you're only going to see it once rather than it just scrolling down the screen, which was kind of a cool thing I've had. I'm sure for those of you that have played with Unreal before, you do a print string and you have something that just triggers maybe even multiple times a frame. You just get this amount of data. So if you set it now to giving it a key, you'll only see that most recent version, which is really kind of a nice little piece to it. All right. Let's do one last thing because we want to just see if everything that we've been doing is working. So I'm going to put it down here underneath the on health depleted. I'm going to right click and I'm going to type in keyboard. Of course, it's going to take me to the absolute wrong spot, but that's okay. Nah. So we want a keyboard event. We'll just set it to the number 1 key because that's towards the top. Doesn't matter which one you pick. So So what we'll do from here is, what is going on here? It's fine. Everything's fine. From pressed, we're going to drag off and do apply damage. What is going the hell on here? There we go. Now I can move stuff around. That was weird. So from our damaged actor, we'll drag off and get a reference to self. Where's my... There we go. The very bottom, get reference to self. We'll set our base damage to 10. That way we don't murder ourselves too quickly. We'll compile and save. And now if we go to our third person map and we hit play and we press the 1 key, wow. Why are you? Apply damage. Firm damage actor. Is this actually doing anything? Hold on. Let's just see what's going on here. Well, it's getting that far. That's great. Okay. Print string is working. Apply damage. Damage actor is self. Base damage is 10. Great. What do we got going here? Damage taken. Is your, of course yours is working.
I have no idea why though. I do exactly the same thing as you.
Right? That's fine. That's going through true. Is anybody else's actually working? I've got a couple. Mine's working less. That's great. Let's see.
One of the things that broke it for me when I copied the new component over, I changed the begin play to just a custom event without a name.
Yep. There we go. Let's try that.
It's not working completely, but it just killed me instantly now.
So if it's killing you instantly, double check your health is connected straight or correctly. Your subtraction is working.
Or my max health got reset. That's it.
And then if max health got reset, you want that. So yeah, so on your BP health component, make sure that it's starting with the event begin play. Switch it out if you need to. Make sure your health default value is the 100. Let's see if this did it. Pile, save, play.
Whoa.
There we go. All right. So if you're just standing here and you hit to 0, they didn't die. They just fell asleep. It's okay. Don't worry about it. They're fine. They'll be okay. If you're instead running around and then decide to jump in the midair, maybe less okay. Narcolepsy. I'm not sure what happened, but it's okay. We'll get a doctor at some point. It'll be okay. Did everybody get to this point? Are we all?
It seems to be missing a couple of things. Like I can't. I mean, I can show you, but
Let me see. Oh,
you can still shoot while you're down.
can you still shoot while you're dead?
Yeah. Oh, the one I said was terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. She doesn't need eyes, I can tell you. Unless we want to make them fill those sockets.
Well,
Oh,
I'm trying to stylize it too. It's a fun, mix between learning and
yes, I just want to good luck. Yeah, yeah. Is anyone else getting this issue where the set can't be damaged has an extra target value? Make them bug and what? I'm so. But when I get the whole or should that ball, this is really now. I got it working. So now it's like it's built like a so now is and a fixed budget we can set up with this guys.
I saw something.
Oh, is that like you want to see the play button? It doesn't show up. Your you keep a little invested in this your character. It's right here. You want to see what it is? Yeah, I don't know what about it. Yeah, my character is just gone.
He's
I
he like
hit,
literally died.
no, like I hit play and there's just no character here. I can shoot. I mean that's it. You reach the skeleton. This no like there's a mesh component. It's set to the skeletal mesh component. But there's nothing there. I can't move. They're getting on the rate. Like, shooting out someone. It's shooting from where the center of this component would be. Yeah, no, he's gonna be have the players right. But it was just so there.
That's just strange. We'll get there. I don't know why you're getting the different one on that.
I actually think it's easiest when the Star Wars there as first because it doesn't like put them into okay, but like first your origin stuff is super oh yeah, it doesn't very boring. I think sometimes it doesn't
Do you have something in your
Yeah.
Because like it's not even like oh I had my character die. They'll just finish writing this stuff. I could call these events. So that was later.
Oh, yeah.
You had send down all these right click in the it could be like somebody where it's just like presentation on camera. It's online. Like is that always yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
like it's not.
Well, that's a line.
I know. Yes, yes, I know. Yes, I know. I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do. This took me 5 minutes. This took me 5 minutes. What was that? There we go. I mean, you still need profiles. Fall down layers. Look at that. Any luck yet? Working on that's what I'm working on. We need like 3 or 4 of the states. We'll have to figure that out. Yeah, down. Usable, other than the fact that that's joints, not double them all.
No, that's like after the
Great. We're gonna have to do a lot of searches out of how to get scared.
pass it for now.
Let's keep it. I mean, 45. This is so funny.
General.
Have you played? I've been. This is gonna be kind of hard to explain. We'll stop doing that. But still weird.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. We've got most everybody there. Everybody's probably been having a lot of fun killing their character. If your character still exists.
Apparently my file got corrupted, and the best thing to do would be get it back up at the project, which I don't have.
Ah, fabulous.
Yay.
Yay life. Okay. So let's do some actual damage to our character rather than us just doing it, right? I mean, it's fun to kill your character, but like maybe we could do it for other reasons. So let's do a damage over time damage. So if we go back to our third person map, let's go. I'm just gonna save this so it just gets rid of that. We're gonna do this time. We're gonna do a blueprint class, and we're gonna mean to do an actor, right? Purposefully choose actor. And let's do BP fire, because who doesn't like roasting your player over an open fire? Why not? Let's open up the BP fire. Just kind of like we did last week when we were playing, we're going to do add to a component. We're going to start typing cascade. So we get the cascade particle system component. And then we're going to, in our details, in the particles, we're going to, for the template, we are going to do P underscore fire. It's not really a fire if we don't have some audio to it. So let's add an audio component. For our audio, we're going to, in our details, sound, we're going to switch the sound to, we'll do fire 01 underscore Q. That gives us a nice big audio range to it. Then we're going to click on the default scene route. We're going to go ahead and add, once again, we'll type in box for box collision. Now our fire is captured in a box, but that box is too small, right? We don't want them to get that close before they take damage. So we'll do our, in the shape, the box extent, we'll just change the 32s to 40. And then the box is on the fire's in the middle of the box. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So we'll come up here and change this to 40 as well. So now we've got the fire at the bottom of our box. And then we want to just make sure that everything's directly under the default scene route, which our audio currently is attached to the particle system. So if we drag the audio onto the default scene route, we can just say attach, and that puts everything on the same level. All right, we can compile this for a moment. Let's go over to our event graph. And then we're going to delete on this one, we're going to delete the bottom two, the event tick and the event actor begin overlap. We're going to select our box collider component. And then scroll down our details until we get to our events. And we want to go ahead and select the on component begin overlap, right? We care when the player decides to step into the fire or step really close to the fire. So when they begin to overlap, we'll start damaging them. All right. So let's do, let's see, from other actor, we're going to drag off and get component by class, just a single component by class. For the component class, we are going to select our BP health component. And so now we want to make sure that it's actually the player that's standing over it, right? Maybe we don't want to damage something else that would potentially maybe walk into the fire. We just care about killing the player because we're mean. So from our return value, we're going to drag off is valid. And we want the one that starts with the question mark. So question mark, is it valid? We're going to attach this one to our begin overlap event. So connect our execute. We're going to drag off, let's see, connectivity event. We want to, is this one? Oh my gosh. Get actors to damage array. I think it's this one. Let me double check. Get actors to damage. No. Oh, where would I get this one? Connect to the event, drag off. And under array.